He's like, I know my friend.
Bro, I know what you're
Let me know when you're ready, mate.
Hey, yo, for that, just running some adverts here. Again for me. Not too more to go.
It goes.
What's the name of the studio again?
New Wave.
Yes, I'm
It's really fun.
Did I say dog again?
Yeah, I do.
For the record, I can't hear anything.
Yes, good evening, Bermuda. It gives me a great pleasure to be in this New Wave studio with the Digicel staff, and we've got some very exciting guests here today. Some young gentlemen, young men that I've known since birth. I'll start off on the end there. We have Owen Botelho, is all these boys that I've worked with via football. You got Najai P.V. Tucker, that's sitting in the corner. You got Jayce Basden, another kid that's over in the UK in the FAB system. My son, Sadeo Dill, that's sitting in the black, and the philosopher and Amir Thomas. Amir Thomas's son, and that's he's gonna make it big. He thinks a lot, don't you, Amir? Yeah. But again, this conversation here is going to be built around, these guys are footballers. They've been playing football and they're using their football talents in many different ways. So it's good to, put young men in front of the camera in this capacity to see what that journey looks like for them. And we could just, I mean, we're encouraging the public to get involved as much as possible with any questions that they have. What I'll start off with Owen, and everybody just introduce themselves and their name and where they're playing football to at this point in time. So I'll start off with you, Owen. Okay, yeah.
My name's Owen Botelho, and I'm playing at North Village.
Nice.
Yeah.
My name is Nijat Taka. I play in England at Burnley FC.
My name is Jayce Basden. I'm playing at Fab Academy. It's based just outside of London.
Yeah, my name's Dill. And I play at Fab Academy in Jayce, just outside of London.
My name is Amir Thomas. I go to school in the U.S. and I go to Bates College.
All right. Well, I have to just ask a quick one, Missy, because I mean, we can't forget it was a holiday. Digicel's got you guys on the couch now, but you got to, find out some real interesting stuff about all of you and your pursuit to your professional career. But like, how was your weekend, guys? What's up? Like, did you have fun?
Yeah, weekend was good.
Yeah. You did everything that you're supposed to do and not supposed to do.
Yeah.
That was a trick question.
Being like quiet over there.
Yeah, I just kind
I didn't do
That's
too much.
good.
I didn't chill on the beach.
chill on the beach. What beach you went to?
Joseph's Bay.
Okay. Anybody else went to the beach?
Yeah, I was at the beach. I was at Horseshoe Bay.
How was it?
It was good.
And it's nice for you guys to be on the beach, right? Because you don't you're always in that weather, like, right? It's like it's
Yeah.
normally cool where you currently are.
Yeah, in England as well. So come back to free and on the beaches.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how long did you let summer do? Just have to ask that too. How long is your summer? Like, how long do you get to enjoy summer in Bermuda before you have to go back?
Around August.
Okay, so that's about 2 months.
How about you, Jai? Jai for the beach,
I leave on Friday.
Wow. To start back working again? Okay. That's a short summer.
Very short.
How long you here for?
Since June 1st.
Oh, wow, super short.
Just have a month.
Just under a month.
Just on that one.
Interesting.
So let's just jump right into Jai over there. What's going on? He seems, he's sitting there, he's got his smile on gun over there. So Burnley FC, yeah. So is that a Premier club? Burnley FC is a Premier club in the UK, is it?
Premier League,
Yeah. So just tell me about a little bit about how you ended up at Burnley, from growing up in Bermuda.
So you're taking it all the way back. As a kid in Burma, I played for Village from young. I was about 5 with Maze, Coach Maze. Still play for Village. Remember being Village, play for Village. Then later on, I moved to Valencia, and I was like, hello? When did Valencia
It's
first
probably
come?
about 10, was it?
About
Yeah.
9, 10. Yeah, it was like mostly players. I played with a Village. Ended up playing for Valencia as well.
So what was the step for you to move to Valencia? Were you and your family moving anywhere abroad, or did someone say, listen, it's time for him to move?
Valencia in Bermuda.
Valencia and Bermuda.
Oh, Valencia and Bermuda. My apologies. Look at me. I'm learning something. So you was there to what age?
Valencia wasn't a club before.
Got you.
When the first year it started, I moved to Valencia.
And how many years you was there for?
2, 3.
So what was the step for your family to move away? Was that for your football development or for generally development of your family?
Mainly for football, but there's other aspects as well. But I'd say it was always talked about. Like if you want to become a footballer, it's obviously something that you're gonna want to do. So yeah, we just ended up packing everything and leaving. That's what you have to do.
So you spent 2 years at Man City as well. How did that come about?
I don't really remember. I don't remember.
Was it like
It
for
was
any
from-
type of interview or?
No, it was from
Submission?
in England. I mean, from in Bermuda. When I went out there, I guess it was some connections. I'm not really too sure in politics. Ended up being there for two years, and then moved to Burnley.
So let's just jump right over to dice. That's what we call it. We call them dice.
How you get dice?
Okay.
How
so-
you get dice?
Yeah, how you
Let's
get
just tell
dice?
How you end up being dice?
All right. So long story. As a kid, I was at the barber shop and I saw a guy with a dice in his head. And I was
Okay.
like, told my barber like, I need that. I need it. I love what I see. So
How old were you when that happened?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, I see that. That's why.
I get the dice in my head and I played tennis. I was a big tennis guy back then. So I went to my coach, Coach Cross. He passed away. Rest in peace, Coach Cross. And he said, I was playing Goat one day and he was like, you know what, why they should call you Dice? And my dad was there and he heard the nickname. Then my dad started calling me at Village, and then the coach at Village
My dad.
caught on to it, and it just developed. And ever since then, everybody knows me as Dice.
Wow, and you don't even have no dice in your head no more.
Nope.
You don't even have to represent that. It was so good.
So
All right, cool.
So you've been away probably from what, 13 years old?
from about 12.
12 years old, and you did a junior boarding school in Boston. Just tell me about that and what that decision was, and also what it meant at 12 years old being away from parents.
Leaving home at a young age, I would say, was extremely hard for me since I was so young, being 12. But I felt like I needed it to meet new people, learn different cultures, and to grow as a person. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to do that.
So, did you take that move by yourself, or was there family that went with you?
My mom pushed me on that journey. I didn't want to leave. Like I was like, I kind of want to stay in my shell, stay
Yeah.
home.
And that's
But my mom was like, you need to go.
so she
Like,
took you there and then she left you there.
yeah.
So Macy, well, I mean, that's a lot of challenges that I feel like a lot of Bermudians have. The idea of like, you're gonna leave me here by myself at such a young age too.
Yeah, that's a big deal for parents. Being a parent that's done that. I mean, I left my son at 12 years old in Boston as well, and I took him up to Boston, and it was challenging for me to leave him. But, I also know what exists in Bermuda, and I didn't like what exists in Bermuda for boys when it came to sports, academics, and things like that. So I took that chance. And as you see, all these guys are sitting here on the couch, and they're benefited from those chances that parents have taken, but it's not an easy parenting decision.
Right.
So Dill, for you, I mean, you also spent a year in Boston for going over to the UK. Do you care to tell the public about some of your stories in Boston, how you cope with being in Boston and being away from your parents?
Like what? The good or the bad?
Both. We want to hear it all.
We already heard it all.
Something good.
Yeah. You talk about the time Dice got in the office and said it was him. I said it was just me. I did it. I did it.
So, Dice.
You guys had some serious experiences together.
Yeah, you guys must have been rolling together at our prep school that we was at, and must have got in trouble together. Ended up in the principal's office, and we had a plan. I was like, "Look, Dice, man, you guys deny me. We ain't done it. We didn't do it." The first question asked, they said, "I ain't done it." The first question he asked, he's like, "Yeah, I ain't done it." And I was like, "Dice, man." And yeah, that was a funny time. Some of the like the bad times was probably when I ain't never told my daddy this, but when he left the first time, and I was like when he dropped me out there, and then when I went to my dorm and all of that, I just didn't. I missed him already.
Yeah, I know you just got
Did you cry or anything?
It's okay.
Were you crying?
I mean, like the first night I might have cried.
Yeah.
I might have cried.
I think it's good to share that because people need to know like nothing about this is easy. They see you on Insta, they see you, I don't know if you're on TikTok, wherever they see you. And they're just like, yo, like he's just living his best life, doing what he wants to do. But meanwhile, I shed tears at a young age at 12 because I was used to being him. Like, you're gonna cry, right? And I applaud you for that, for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah. What Dice, you seem to be a guy that takes accountability for your actions, which is good. So just moving on to Jayce. Jayce, you've been out of here. Just talk about your time out of here. You had a stop at Harefield Academy as well prior to going on to Fair.
Yeah.
So what age were you when you left Bermuda?
I I think I might have been 13. I went into year 9 away at Harefield Academy. There was a few other Bermudians there. I don't know if anyone knows them, like
Drop their names,
Travis
shout 'em
Boyles, Jalen Greaves, Xavier Smith, Elon Gibbons. And yeah, I was there for 2 years. And then I moved out. I moved in with 2 of the boys who went there with me. We got an apartment together, and I moved into a club team called Bournemouth FC, and I spent 2 years there, and it was good. I just felt like I needed some more progression, so then I changed over to FAB, and I got this suggestion from Coach Maceo, and I feel like moving there was good. The coaching was really good. I've learned a lot from the coaches there, and yeah.
So you also had a knee injury that you recovered from. How has that changed your perspective of your body and football in general?
Well, my knee injury, I feel like it allowed me to really get a better understanding on my body and training my legs, because your legs are what you use for football all around, and even walking around just in everyday life. But my injuries allowed me to get into contact with a lot of high-end people. So like the sports therapist I worked with for my knee was also working with Joe Gomez, who plays for Liverpool, and Michael Owen, who played for Manchester United.
That's interesting. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, life's about networking. Not to say that you know the football players, but the conversation with your therapist that you have with him just opens you up to a whole new world of, like, how small it really is, right?
Yeah. So I would work with him, then after being with him, he would shoot off sometimes to go work with Joe Gomez at his house, because he would come down to London to work with him, because that's what was needed to help his knee get better. So he used to give me some exercises he would give for high-end players like that, and it was challenging, but it's helped me get back. But it's still some work I need to get done on my leg to get it strong and create a balance between both my legs.
I have a question, because everyone was saying, like, they went from this school to that school. Like, for those that are watching, especially, like, for parents or even just boys or girls themselves, what is that process like? Like, where do they go to find out, like, what schools they should go to? Or do, like, all Bermudians, like, follow each other and go to the same academy? Like, what can a parent or child do if they're interested, and where do they start?
Well, that's a very interesting question, right? Basically, how it works it's a trend. You know how Bermuda works. If somebody hears something and then somebody else catches on, and then we go at it.
Okay.
So that's how it basically works. But how it should work and how it works in other jurisdictions, they have formalized relationships and formalized pathways. So if Bermuda and the club system were doing the work at a high end, we'll have a progression from a kid that's 5 and how to get them to 20.
Okay.
And this is what that pathway looks like.
Yeah, because I'm just sitting here
So right now, each of these guys' pathway looks like something individual. But in other jurisdictions, these pathways to professionalism is formalized.
Wow.
You
So
know,
that's something that, I mean, we're
behind on that.
behind on that. It's
You know.
so interesting, because you would think as Bermudians and having that UK connection, we would somehow be uniform like that, but it's not like that. That's interesting.
So for me, because of my history in football, traveling to the UK, traveling to the US, and being involved in the national program and club, I've always had an interest in helping young kids to reach potential academically through football or even in life. So I'm a product of that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't prepared when I went to school in the US. I'm
All
saying
right.
I have to train every day. I have to travel every weekend. I have to keep my schoolwork up, and I like socializing.
Yeah, how you guys make
I
up with
wasn't
that?
prepared for that.
I never went to school.
Oh, you didn't go to school for, okay, so you did a different, like you said, each person has a
He's at a
different
professional
path.
club.
I went from Bermuda, school in Bermuda at Clearwater, to school in UK. So from Clearwater to being an average.
So you obviously had to do trials. You had to, like, right? So that brings me to my question. It's not a serious one, but I just want to know, like, at what point, like, okay, when you was doing trials, right, coach is like, all right, 4 laps for a warm-up. and you hit the street. Hit the field.
What club's that?
Well, how many? What's a warm up session?
Warm up 10, 15 minutes.
So they say run for 10, 15 minutes.
No, warm up.
All right.
Skill related to.
Let's just put this scenario there. You have to go run 5 laps, right?
Track and field.
Okay, well, whatever the warm up is, maybe it's like one buns, what we was playing the other day, but like during that warm up, and you're next to guys that you never met, you don't know them, you probably talked a little bit before the coach started talking, but then he says, "Let's go." At what point did you ever get to a point where you felt like, wait a minute, I'm really in a competitive arena. Like, I don't know these guys, but this guy next to me, he's looking like he's not even tired, and I'm feeling tired. Like, did you ever feel that, or did you always feel like, I could do this, like, I can hang in there, or did you feel like, I'm gonna pick my damn up?
Obviously, if you knew, you're always gonna be nervous. It's normal, but.
Well, people don't know that, and that's why I think it's important to let them know
in
that.
sports, if you do, it's like it's your first time trying anything, you'll be nervous. But when I went, football in the UK is big, but it's small.
Okay.
You go somewhere, you'll see someone you know or someone you know all, and yeah. So if you know someone all and you talk to them, they'll make you feel comfortable. And then once you start like getting into it, everything goes out your head, and you just play your game, do what you've been doing.
Yeah. So you never felt like, wow, the coach is saying this guy's doing real good. He ain't saying nothing about me. I need to step it up.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But
I'm just curious.
That's just because football is an emotional game.
You're interactive with some of the current great players. Mason Greenwood, you guys used to, I know that you used to be at the same park and see the work that his daddy is doing with him, who plays for United right now in England. So what do you see the difference between a Mason Greenwood and a Najai Tucker?
Whoa.
Ah, yeah.
Plays for Man United, one plays with Brandy.
The difference.
I mean, you was at Man City for a time too, at one of the biggest clubs, right?
When, I can't say that.
Oh, you guys. Yeah.
At that time, like when we used to both go to same Astro or whatever together, just kick football. Like it was like summer times or just some like days after school or whatever. You can like his father would go with him and they would like work on finishing, dribbling, do whatever. We'll join in sometimes we won't. I'd say difference.
It's okay, be honest. I was just saying to you like outside, like
You want me to help you?
No.
You want you in your own words.
I don't.
I can put it in my words, you know.
I don't know what you have to say.
Okay. These guys are characters, man. I'm had them for a little
Different.
while.
It's not. Football is not a main difference. It's always minor difference, like small details and everything. So it's not like I wouldn't say, he's a great player. Like he's one of the best young talents in the world. But I wouldn't say he's miles ahead. Because I believe in my talents. I believe in what I have. So.
awesome.
Difference. I don't know. Exposure maybe or different type of. You know?
Well, I'm gonna put a little narrative to this here. I mean, in my belief system, I'm had these kids, right? I'm rode these kids, and I won tournaments in Florida, I won tournaments in Spain in their younger years. So my belief system that under 10, our kids are world class. They're better than all the kids in football in the world.
Wow.
And I've been to Brazil, I've been to Germany, I've been to different places. The difference becomes this word that I call professionalism. I'm gonna ask today about professionalism. So, what do you see the difference in our culture as Bermudians? We say that we have this laid-back culture. And when you go to England and the professional way of doing things, is it a distinct difference? And any one of you guys can chime in on that as well. Is there a distinct difference in the professionalism and approach towards it?
Yeah, it's a very big difference. Like you said, like Bermudians, like we're far like better than like an English kid at age 10, 12. Like I feel like we're far better than them technically. But then as you stay in Bermuda longer, it's like you're not working towards anything. Like it's like what do you really go? You play Sunday for say North Village. Then what's next? National team. Then what's next after that? Like I feel that's like it's no motivation to like progress. And then in England, why they get so much like ahead of us Bermudians, even though they're not really technically better than us, is because it's always like somewhere else to go. Like you go from grassroots, then you go into an academy, then you go get your scholar, then you go get your pro, then you're like knocking on the door for the like first team, like Premier League teams, championship teams, and that's where I feel like in Bermuda we go wrong. It's like nothing next.
Yeah, and that could be just lack of education, like you said, either parents not knowing or that whole like being nervous to get up and go. Because it's not easy to just get up and go, you know. But I think for parents that believe that the kids do have a skill, like this is really interesting. Like to know that at some point there's just not that growth needed or professionalism.
To
Yeah,
progress them.
or that culture.
So
It's our culture. Our culture's different. Like,
Yeah.
It's completely
I was
different.
just saying to these like outside, right? I was like, you know, I really want to ask Mr. Goater a question. Is Goater on the live with us? Not yet? Okay. I wanted to ask a question that, you know, as a Bermudian,
can we Skype go to you?
Hello.
Hey, the great one.
oh guys,
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, you may want to make a little announcement.
Yeah, we do have the legendary Shawn Goater on the line here. How you doing, Goater?
I'm very well, mate. Good show. Been listening to a little bit.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about Bermuda culture, and you know, I was just talking.
Just hit your camera too, Goat.
Yeah, I was trying to do that for some
See
reason.
how you hit the back of the net. Hit the camera.
All right, but while you try to fix that, I'm gonna ask the question. My question is, and it's just not for you, Mr. Goater, but it's also for the boys as well. But Bermuda culture, all right, cool. We're very conservative people, laid back. We talked about that. I wonder when you go pro and you're abroad and people are running to you and they're screaming your name and asking for your autograph, and then you come back to Bermuda and you can walk the street freely, no hassle, no one's running at you. Does that make you feel some type of way, or are you okay with that because you understand the culture? Or do you feel like the Bermudians don't understand how great you was? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I feel like that's a question.
Yeah, good sense. I think
Fine with that.
You okay with it?
100%.
So let me just hear what Goat's
Interesting.
got to say about that.
Yeah, I think when you're playing, you know, Premier League football, you're playing at a high level period, you actually enjoy the relaxation and the freedom. So when you do come home, you know, when you come home and you're seeing people, and it's just a normal conversation, but people ain't sort of marginal like in England. You go places and they want photos and they want autographs and all that sort of stuff. So it's actually really good to come in because people are real with you. You know, you see your mates and your day ones, and they're just like, yeah, I remember you when you was rubbish when you at younger at village or whatever it may be, or so it's really good to come in and not really get that mithering, if you like, because again, once you have it, you do want a point where you can relax. So I would imagine, you know, all players who played in England that's had some success, when they return back home to Bermuda, they actually enjoy that. They enjoy the fact of coming back home, being able to be, whether it's walking through Hamilton or anywhere, and you get the odd shout, hey, what's happening? But you can still just be yourself, which is really good.
All right, interesting.
Yeah. Well, I want to bring Owen into this question. Owen, so very intellectual footballer, and for obvious reason, Owen's a white kid. You guys, we all can see that. Right?
It's like really makes you duh.
So our coach Owen, he has high intellect.
Okay.
So he's not Najai, he's not Sadeo, he's not Jayce or Dice, where he's flashy. He's not the flashy tactical player, but he thinks the game well. Do you think that way how you play the game is appreciated and respected in Bermuda?
Sometimes no, because Bermudians and Bermuda coaches, I would say they like fast players. and people that like to dribble a lot, and people that just
School.
I like the
school.
giant. I like the
Even
giant
that's good.
Deal. That's flashy.
That's good though.
Flash you up.
It's good though, but
1-2 touch.
you
Is
just
that
need
not
someone
enough?
to be
The thinker.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's interesting. Everyone
So that-
plays a part.
Right, that's a part. I mean, and I bring that
Okay,
up.
all right,
I-
pause.
All right,
Okay.
the giant was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Go match, man.
So, the other day you said to me, "Why you ain't how I used to be?"
All right.
Right?
Mhm.
Now that I'm in
Burnley.
professional
Right.
club or whatever.
Professional club.
So why I'm not how I used to be when I was younger?
Right.
Why?
Because they're schooling you in a different way. They're taking away the rawness, ability that you have to win games and teaching you more about the game. So
But
the
you
secret,
just asked Owen,
Yeah.
why don't Bermudians appreciate that type of player?
right? Bermudians don't, and I get it. Bermudians don't appreciate that type of player. And the point that I'm making with it takes all these type of players to make up one team. So it's not undermining what you have because you guys, you're a match winner. You guys today is a match winner. Dice will crush anybody for you.
Yeah, defender.
He will defend it. He will crush.
I got him.
Yeah, he will crush. I mean, we had the debate the other day, Najai. We had the debate the other day that you felt that you could play with 5-6 matches on one team.
Of course.
Yeah, see, and that's why you're not a coach and I am, right?
But
I couldn't
matches
put
against
five
anyone
Najais
else, they
on one
would
team
win.
or 5 Sedeos on one team. Look what just happened, Dice. To get them hurt, I had to go pick them up. I have to manage them, innit?
Yeah.
If
Whereas
you play
then I didn't have to
five
manage
matches
it.
against 5 of anyone else, I guarantee Manchester.
Oh, we're
will
getting
win.
this heating up now.
I guarantee Manchester will win.
5 masses. So
Against
we guys are
5
training in the
anyone
park. So Bermuda, this what's happening this summer. I got these guys at the Old Arena. The Jai somewhere he got me training in the dog park, right? This is, and yeah, the guy said, "I got you in the dog. You got me in the dog park." It's bougie now, right?
It's bougie now.
You know, it's bougie. He comes from the hood of Bermuda, and now he's bougie. So
Now he
has
don't
the
like the
ability.
dog. He like the
Now
dog.
he don't like the dog party, so I gotta take him up National Stadium. Now Sadeo tells me I don't know what I'm talking about because he's training in plush surfaces. You don't know what
They
you're
don't want
talking
to roll
about.
their ankles.
You don't roll your ankles.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah,
So what
so
if I
that's-
get injured? It's gonna be your fault.
Yeah.
Some of your
So
sessions.
that's it. I don't know what I'm talking about now.
I think you need to protect these guys at any means necessary and put them on
So
the field.
with that, Sadeo, and Dice, you can chime in because Dice is the philosopher. He bridges everything together for these guys. And I have a term for these boys. And I want to legalize these terms for teenagers. I want to legalize the term because the term is we have at teenagers we have dopey, we have legally dopey, and we have illegally dopey. This is what teenage boys are. And they
Is that
were,
the 3 stages?
I've actually invented a 4th stage. Now we have Najai that's extinct. You don't have that anymore. So
I'm good. I'm one of a kind. You man ain't like me.
the process of developing them into manhood is a serious process. And the perspective I'm always coming from is using sports as a tool to develop these guys into manhood and let them recognize and keep them healthy and healthy lifestyles.
So about the
Yeah.
healthy lifestyle, on your pursuit to be pro or being pro, do you protect a healthy lifestyle? Do you practice eating right every morning? Do you work out? Or
Let Dice answer that
or
one.
do you say, you know what, I'm naturally fit. I don't really have to do all of that.
It's very difficult.
Is
Like
it?
it takes a lot of discipline and stuff like that. Cause like if I see my mom, she might come home with KFC, and I love KFC, but I have to stick to
So you're like, Mom, why?
right, and it hurts, but I have to stick to what I have to do.
Interesting. Even during the summer, like, aren't you on a break right now?
I cheat now
Okay.
and then. I'm gonna be honest. I have a little cheat meals, but it hurts. Right?
Yeah, so you gotta work it back afterwards. So are you guys training at any gyms while you're here? Like, or you just are really relaxing?
Nah, like training at Summersfield on the
Okay.
pull up
With rock.
bars and stuff.
Yeah, I got them wrong.
That's
man.
not bougie. That's right.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
that's
like a
right.
schedule going on. So
And that's what the
Hey,
overreach
Sil,
Oh, so you have a schedule?
yeah.
Go.
can I? Yeah. Can I just pick up on the point you talked about training at Arboretum
Yes.
and
Yeah, please do.
the guys talking about well, as Roberts, what kind of pitch you got me on? Well, two things. I think what you guys will learn is that's such an asset when you guys play in England, because the pitches are so smooth in England that what you learn in Bermuda by playing on pitches like Bermuda, you have to watch your ball all the way to your feet. So that becomes an ingrained habit. When a ball's passed to you, you watch it to your feet. In England, because the pitch is so good, you could take your eye off the ball maybe three meters from your feet, because you know the ball is going to have a true roll. So that becomes a really good habit. And I'll say this: Manchester City at their academy actually started to arrange games against lower opposition teams for their players because they realized how playing on adverse fields or not the best pitches would also contribute to helping their game and helping their performance. So, despite what you think, guys, and what you know, Macy is absolutely right that I know that's the only. He could have taken you up to National Stadium, perhaps.
The goat said that.
Is that for your development?
The goat said it.
No, look.
I sort of agree. I play netball,
Yeah.
and we play on concrete, asphalt, which is outdated, extremely bad for our legs, our knees. Anywhere we travel in the world and play, when we play internationally, they're playing on like court surfaces or like rubber supported surfaces that absorb pressure. And I don't like that I play on concrete, but I ain't gonna front. We fall on damn other perfect surfaces. That's nothing. We could real top that off and get up because we have to hit concrete and real. It makes us rougher. So I can appreciate the ghetto-ness, but I get it. I want the bouginess too.
So I'm gonna bring up something from our sessions that we have, and the question is directed to both Owen and Sadeo. So Sadeo, last year we did the same thing, and all of a sudden when you go back to Feb, you're scoring goals for fun.
That's not from your
So
side.
I'm just asking a question. All of a sudden you're scoring goals from certain angles.
I know, man.
Guys, do you think that was connected somehow?
Leave me alone.
And then Owen, I'm gonna go to Owen. So last year again, we was doing speed drills at the Old Arena, and these guys are physically faster than Owen from a physical standpoint. But he was getting better time in these speed drills that we do. Why do you think that happened, Sadeo, Dice, and Owen? Why do you think Owen, who you guys are physically faster than, was always getting better times in the drills?
Not about a strategy.
Precision. He's thinking before he. What is it like?
I
You're
know,
already know what it's gonna
ask
do.
Dice, why do you think?
Dice.
Why do you think Owen was? I mean, we watched it. We was. You got. I mean, I wasn't baffled. I knew why, but you guys were baffled that Owen that is physically slower than you guys. You guys are physically faster than that. He got better speed. He got better speed times than you guys all the time. Why? You guys don't know the answer. You're making my coaching look like rubbish, right?
I know why, because Dice don't know where it's going. I go, oh man.
His more of a word surrounding.
No, Sadeo said it right. He don't understand it. Owen, he strategized how he's going to do things. So he thought how he's going to do things before he does it. So it makes it more efficient. No, we have a saying in football.
How do you recognize a player like that? Do you just see them thinking?
See, Bermuda doesn't recognize a player like that. Bermuda doesn't, but experienced coaches actually do. So Bermuda doesn't recognize Owen's skill and don't know what to do with it. And you need a thinker in the team. You need somebody that controls the tempo, that controls the game, that actually is what I want to call a team player. So we have a concept in football that I use that you either have your brains in football in your feet or your brains in your head.
Okay.
Very seldom do we have both. That you got a player that have the brains in the head and the brains in the feet together. So
do you know anybody like that, Mr. Goat? Do you know any players that have been known for having those two type of traits?
Me.
You?
In the modern game, this is what they're looking at now, the intellectual player. So back in the day, you could, it's not even about school, but you could go to any sort of school and flunk all your tests. They just wanted to know that you're a baller. But today, they're also looking at the intellectual player. So the player that's rounded and is sort of has an education soundness makes better decisions on the pitch as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You didn't expect that, did you?
Well, I've heard of it, and that's only just from like, I guess, traveling or Digicel used to do this camp called Jumpstart, which was they would scout for up and coming basketball players in the Caribbean, and Bermuda was lucky we actually had some players that were scouted. Long story short, we went abroad to this NBA training session. I got to take the kids, which was amazing. But that was spoken of so much, where they say like they don't want just the player that's got all the skills. They want that balance between not so much getting high grades, but they have to be participating in school and education.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole book, there's a whole subject about that talent's overrated. You know, and to get back to the Jai, when we was talking about the dog park there, you know, because that's ringing in my head, that dog park. In Curacao, they're producing the world's best baseball players all the time, and they have a dog park.
Wow.
And they're producing the, you know, so they don't have the plush facilities.
Yeah, but
that
you'd be
you know,
surprised what the body absorbs that you think has nothing to do with the environment. That's life, period. Like, even in the workforce, like I'm able to be corporate as well as be able to hang with my friends in the neighborhood. Like, I have a balance, and not one or the other was better, but they help gel it together. Yeah, it's a balance.
So, Jai, what's next for you, Jai? What is next? I mean,
before we do that,
sure.
Let's give our audience a prize.
Sure.
Right? We've been on like live for a minute. Does anybody have a question for someone to win? JBL speakers. This is the camera.
I remember.
All right, guys. We want to give you guys a gift because you've been listening in, and I'm gonna give these guys. Let them give you the question. So who wants to go?
I'll go. So.
Wait, you're gonna make it Digicel?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so if anyone can name at least 5 Digicel apps and these nice JBL headphones. So yeah, any comments?
Alright guys, because you know we're talking sports, but it's always good to refresh you guys about the apps that Digicel has that you can utilize as a customer for free because it comes with your plan, in case you don't know. So the first person to tell us 5 apps. Team, are we looking for comments coming through? Okay, awesome. 5 apps. Yeah, you're a winner. But basically, you can continue the question now.
These are some nice headphones.
Yes, go ahead. Let them know. JBL, Bluetooth.
Can we guys ask for
Yeah, like these are some nice headphones. I wish I could keep them for myself, to be honest. But yeah, so at least 5 Digicel apps, and you got yourself a new pair.
Now, if you guys need help, you can go on our Instagram page, Facebook, or website. You'll find more than 5, but we have 5 within this. But moving on with the question.
So Jai, what's next? I mean, I know you because you're very ambitious. You've always been ambitious, which is great. So what's next for you? You know, when it comes to football, what is your ambition, and where are you going with this?
I'm trying to make it. Trying to play at the top, at the highest level possible, for as long as possible.
And tell me about you playing for Bermuda. Let's have that conversation about the Bermuda national team, because I mean right now you're 18 years old. You're at a premier club. I mean that's not something a lot of Bermudians.
That's pretty young, right?
That's something that not what a lot of Bermudians are doing. Why are you not in the national team?
Bermuda men's national team?
Yeah, why are you not in the Bermuda men's national team, and what is your ambition surrounding that?
I'm not the right person to ask. I don't run the team. I'm not the coach of the team. They pick the team that they pick. So
Tell them why you want to be on the team.
I can't really answer that because I don't pick the team. So.
Answer it. This is
I don't pick the team. They pick team.
We at the white coach at New Wave.
You have to get the coach in or whoever runs.
How about this? Okay.
And they'll answer why I'm not. I don't know. You have to
do you have to write in? Maybe I want to know because I don't know.
Do you desire to be in the national team? And that's for all of you guys.
That's that national pride.
What is your desire
Is it
relates to the Bermuda national team?
Is it because you think they? Okay, I'm just wondering. You was thinking versus being, So I'm wondering. I want to know why. Do you feel like there's a bias? Because I feel like sports in Bermuda is very biased. But I want to know, you as a player who's plays pro, do you feel like the selected team or whoever's picking is biased?
Bruh,
It's
say
too much
what you want to
pressure.
say.
You don't have to answer. You already know the answer.
No.
You should not answer
Wait,
it.
Calandra, bias
I'm gonna bash
bias
on
in
Twitter
what
or
way?
something.
Like,
Bias in a sense where either, and this
I
could
don't
be,
know who
and this could
picks
be a lack
team.
of
I ain't in
education
control
or what they know. You know, like we can't always. I'm thinking bias as in they already have who they
Rachel
want in
getting
mind,
trouble.
or they don't want to deal with players who they think may be difficult, or they feel that the person didn't write in to participate, so they're not bothered with that person.
but look,
Tell me what you think. No. Tell me what you
Now I want to
think.
hear this first.
Yeah, Dice.
if you was a coach, would you like to deal with somebody that's a bit difficult? Would you
So-
like to deal with somebody?
So I think, in my opinion,
Roll you out.
I have two ways. So I think because it's Bermuda, I feel that coaches take on more of a responsibility than being just a coach. Now, is that fair? No, but to be a coach in Bermuda, it comes with a passion, right? So I feel like the coach that has that passion gains respect from a player with that type of
It's 'cause
attitude.
They coach
right?
them on Sundays, Saturdays.
There's no relationship.
Parents get involved. Parents have influence on coaches. They don't stand on their own 2 feet. Man.
Yeah,
They just
so I think that's a problem. I think that
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
a coach.
bro, beat another guy, Jai.
I think a coach shouldn't have to deal with a person with that type of energy, but I feel like I'm one of them people that's like, for the team to win, if we need them, put them in. I'm like that.
So let's reverse this question. Let's reverse it because none of the boys seem like they want to take on this question.
What's the question?
I don't want to bash
No,
people.
no.
You're not bashing. We're having
Jai
a different
doesn't want to take on the question.
conversation.
What is the question?
Cool.
Ask any question.
So Dice, okay, you answer for tonight. You know the Jai. You're growing up. Why do you think the Jai isn't, or Najai or Sadeo or Jayce? Why do you think they aren't in the Bermuda national team with the obvious talent they have?
Okay, I'm gonna be real. Give
Yeah.
my real answer.
Sure.
I feel like it comes down to your mindset and your attitude. I feel like the national coach, he wants 100% from everybody. He doesn't want anyone half-assing it. He wants you to get the job done and do it. And as a coach, you have to trust your players.
Yes.
Alright, thanks.
Okay, look, I'm not done
Job's
yet.
Yeah.
never been done
Look,
before.
Alright, I'm
They
not
never
done yet.
got the job done.
Alright, so with coaches, you have to be able to trust your player, you know? If I'm a coach, I'm putting on players that I trust, that I know that give me 100%. With players coming from, like I say, England and different countries like that, it's kind of hard to trust and get to know that player because you're bringing him in from England and then he's playing on the, like you don't know him,
Yeah.
you know? So I think they don't really understand each other and know each other.
That's very fair.
That's
That
a
means
problem. That's a
coaches-
problem though.
I totally agree.
In the World Cup, these coaches, they don't go to every single.
And
one
that's
of
what
the
it's
players'
saying. He
game.
agrees with you. He's saying that
It's not like-
it's the coach's
yeah.
responsibility to let that go and have to find a way to make short-term relationships.
But also,
What May
it's
says, they don't
also-
track the players. They don't know much about the
Also,
players. That's the
it's the
problem.
player's attitude. I'm not going to sit there and say it's all the coaches
True.
because you have to take some
Accountability.
accountability.
Absolutely.
Neymar's got attitude. Messi's got attitude.
I was gonna say that there's so many. Even like I was just thinking about like me as a promoter, artists or celebrities, they gotta do some bullshit, and
Right.
you know, you have to somehow work with it.
Paul Pogba, like the big players have attitudes. Like you just gotta
So
know how to deal with it.
let's-
Like yeah, a player like Paul Pogba, like he didn't get along with Jose Mourinho, but he still has to play because he's a good player. So like a player like Nijai, yeah, he's got a bad attitude.
You still gotta play.
I'm gonna keep this.
I don't actually think the Jai's attitude is bad. I
It's
wouldn't
not
call
bad.
it-
Thank
I
you very
wouldn't
much.
call
Yeah, I
the
wouldn't
Jai's
say that.
attitude.
Yeah, let's not put that out there.
He has an
It's
attitude
cocky.
and he has a personality.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
Confidence.
So I'm gonna reverse the
But wait,
question.
And a word way.
they wouldn't pick people that live in England who they know nothing about. They don't know what's going on in everyday.
But should you apply? Should you write in and say, hey?
But they pick people who they play on a Sunday, and then as soon as that game finishes, they will go drinking with the same players.
But I'm saying they see that player, you know?
Okay,
They
but
don't really
you're going
see
out
them.
drinking the next day with that same player.
I understand, but they see.
Because your coach, like
So
your
how is it-
professional coaches that you know don't do
How
that.
could you do that? Like,
So this leads to another question, right? you guys are all exposed to professional environments. I mean, because you guys trust me, you say anything you want to me. You tell me I don't know what I'm doing, even though I'm coaching you, and I can deal with that. Do you think the modern day player that is being outside Bermuda that's getting exposed has surpassed the information that the local coaches can give to you?
Yeah.
Like,
But the problem is, Mace, I think they always want to say what you want to say.
What
Yeah.
is it? What is the answer to that? Do you
Yeah.
think-
They're not absorbing to it.
I think I know more than America, but they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Right. So now
Yeah.
if you wanted to do better, you have to find a way to communicate to them in order for them to understand you.
Listen, they
But
look
look
at
at- they
the
look at us
system.
as-
They stick to the
as-
system.
The young, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the disconnect I think Bermudian has, period, on the field and off the field.
And they'll be like, oh, I've been doing this for so years. But you don't have to
Trust-
prove for that many years.
Yeah,
you
trust me.
haven't done anything in them.
As a parent of kids that have been overseas, my kids, and I had this conversation with my son. He's 19. I said, at 19, you're 5 years ahead of where I was at 19.
Wow.
So I know that. I know sometimes that he's ahead of me in his thinking. I mean, I have a conversation with him and said that goes like this. He said, next time you rob me, please just bring a gun. Don't rob me without a gun. If you take my money, I'll feel better if you take my money. and
It's
you
not
have
so
a
I
gun.
don't literally rob him.
And
man.
you gotta run up to me and say,
You
You
"Give
know
me
how
that
to
money."
finesse them.
I don't rob the
He
guy.
finesses
I'm
you.
saying,
you do.
you know, but
It's called finessing.
that is the evidence. That is the evidence, and I knew I made that decision as a parent so my kids can exceed me. And at 19 I mean, I'd never finish high school if you sent me away at that age. He's finished high school. He got accepted into 4 universities. So, you know, yeah, these guys and the Jai, they're here based on what they're seeing. So I think our culture is challenged to manage them.
Yeah.
So Sadeo brings up an interesting point. Yes, Neymar, yes, Messi, yes, all these personality players, yes, Tiger Woods, yes, Michael Jordan are very difficult to manage. But when you get it right, manage them, the results, look what Michael Jordan, look at Tiger Woods, look at
Right.
Wayne Rooney. I mean, you
It's
know,
amazing.
Tiger Woods is incontinent for
So,
sex.
so
you know,
okay, here's my question for knowledge.
yeah, tell me what-
How does it work? So there's a committee,
Women.
and then I know, you know, we're not off topic, but we're still on topic, but just a quick one. If Bermudians, like, can Bermudians vote or put forward names of players that they would love to see on the national squad, or that doesn't?
Well, that gets dangerous, right?
Yeah,
because
that's the same
the
as
coaches
parents
the
get
coaches
involved.
should have the autonomy. The coaching staff should have the autonomy to pick who they want. So it will get dangerous if the public gets involved in that process. So the coaches definitely should have it. And Dice brought up a good point, is that the coaches have to trust you. But in order for the coaches to trust you, they have to take the step to get to know you.
Right.
So-
So, it's like these players, professional or up and coming, they also need to still. It sounds like they still need to, like, not have an interview, but they have to make the connection.
Yeah. And
And I think for us as young, well, I'm a lot older than you guys,
Yeah.
but like, it's hard to do that as a young person, or like I don't know, like, depends on your personality, right? If you feel like they should be reaching out to me, then you're never gonna get that relationship with the customer. I mean, the coach. But if you are a player who's young and is mature, you will reach out even through the DM to have a conversation.
so
How you feel about that? Would you reach out to start a relationship?
Me?
Yeah, just
well,
curious.
it shouldn't even work like that.
Yeah.
In
sure.
other countries,
Nah.
they have a scouting system.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
in
yeah.
every other country they have a scouting system. They know who their players are,
Got you.
so they know their players. It's not about the coach, the player being nice to the coach,
Yeah.
or the parent being nice
That
enough.
turns into favoritism.
That turns into favoritism. They
Okay.
know who their players are. They know what they're capable of doing, and they have a system of integrating these players in. I mean, the other day, Spain, for an example, Spain in the European Cup, a couple of key players got COVID. They had to shut it down. They was able to bring in the whole under 21 team and didn't miss a beat because they
Wow.
know their players. Bermuda, we should know our players because we're small and we have less players.
Wow.
So we should know Najai. It's not hard to not know Najai. It's not hard to not know Sadeo. It's not hard to know Jayce Basden or Owen. It's not hard to figure out what Dice is doing. So we should at least be doing that
Yeah.
as a society or a football organization.
Okay.
back over to you guys.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants these?
Yes, we have a winner.
We have a winner?
Oh, there you go. Look at you.
Jason Smith, you have just won yourself a new pair of JBLs.
About Jason Smith.
You want to know which ones he said?
Jason, please
Yeah.
come to the. Yeah, go ahead.
You guys
what
not
did
been
Jason
inside
say?
trading her, are you?
Yep.
You guys, I know you guys are getting inside trading.
Plago.
MDA and Villa.
And well done.
Come on, that's
Let's clap it up for Jason. You can come get this from me tomorrow at Digicel. Just come to a store and ask for me, Calandra, and I will bring this to you.
Jason.
Well, you had a question. I had a question too for this time.
It's like, so, I mean, in coaching all you guys, obviously the history is the history. Well, one, all the time that I'm coach you guys.
Eesh. Eesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is somebody like me and my personality able to connect with you guys' personalities to get results?
On pitch, so
So why have we won? Because I know this. You say you make me look good, so let's have that conversation.
Be
Dice,
honest.
start with Dice, and then we'll go
When I
wrong.
was younger, I didn't like you. To be honest.
Keep it clear.
Honestly, I didn't like you because your expectation was so high, and I was very young at the age, and I wasn't mature. As I got older, I realized that you want the best for me. You want me to mature as a player,
You trying to make me cry on TV? Okay.
mature as a player, and mature as a person. And with my mindset, I realized like you want the best for me, so I gravitated more towards you. But at first, to be honest, I did not like you.
Let's make that clear.
yeah, almost that.
So, I mean, again, another player, because let's be clear, I don't get along with Najai, I don't get along with Dill, and he's my son as it relates to football. Jayce is borderline. Jayce is who I get along really well with Jayce. He's like hits me up because he wants to go.
Yeah.
Owen, me and you get along. Why? Why do you gravitate towards a personality like mine when it comes to football?
Because I'm not gonna go against you. I'm gonna take your lessons and try to better myself with it.
Trust.
I'm not gonna bash you for trying to help or like say this training session's terrible. I'm just gonna do what you give me.
You trust him.
Yeah.
The Giants are there. We don't want a lot together, and we don't get along. Why? Why don't we get along? And every time I'm coaching, we have one. We're one in Spain. We're one in Disney. We're one in Bermuda. Why don't we get along when it comes to football?
This should be interesting.
Yeah, I want to know.
We am because we make you.
You make me look good as a
No,
coach.
we make you let us do what we want. So when we
Yeah,
do
we
what we
manipulate.
want, we take
Sounds
over,
like
we
finesse.
control, and we get things done. That's right there. That's it.
What's your answer to that, Sadil?
Huh?
Why do we win? Why do we win and we,
Because, like you said, you put Massey, 5 different Masseys on the same team, you're going, like, you're gonna win. Like, you had an all-star team. Like, you're not gonna lose with an all-star team. I'll tell you this, I remember, right? You didn't have our team, one Kappa. You had the second team. And you didn't win.
Oh, what happened?
And you didn't win.
What happened
But
at Kappa? What happened at Kappa? I started on bench in finals. Whatever.
you still remember that?
What happened?
We lost.
Exactly.
We lost.
Talk about your all-star team. I have to ask because I just want to know.
So you think you manage us, but we manage
He
us.
said,
Okay.
He's still going. If you had to pick an all-star Bermuda team, national squad, many generation, you could even put Mr. Good on. Who would be your top 5?
5? Top 5.
Well,
Five
okay,
aside.
why does I thought coordinates for a full team would be a lot. It's 7 players, right? No, that's not
No,
full.
it's 11.
11 players. Yeah.
So each of you get your top 5 Bermuda players.
Top 5?
Yeah.
No order.
No order?
Just who want a
Um,
little defender, need
Tons
some
has gotta
strikers.
be on there.
yeah. But I never seen him play. This is players I gotta have seen play.
Yeah,
No,
top 5.
whatever
think
you
your
heard,
top 5.
whatever-
Whatever's in your head.
From what I'm heard, my grandpa,
What's his name?
Tom Russell.
Thompson Russell, was pretty good.
Okay.
So obviously he's got to go there. Who else?
You gotta put the goat on there. Like what?
The
I'm
goat.
not
Obviously, the famous feed the goat and he will score.
yeah, like,
Yeah. Obviously, Wells.
Nice.
Not two more.
Who'll be your keeper? Are you good?
My goalkeeper. I don't really like. I ain't really seen like Bermuda goalkeepers.
Okay.
I don't really watch Bermuda goalkeepers. Probably Nathan Trott actually.
Okay.
Nathan Trott. And my last one. Who else do I put in there?
This is looks challenging.
It's very challenging.
Yes,
But
Which
it
is
tells
interesting.
their level of what they think a player is.
Or
right?
what they know, because maybe there's been some past players that they're just unfamiliar with.
I don't know too many players.
Right, and that's interesting because if you don't know a lot of players, that means the motivation's not even locally.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's
Where's the
see.
history?
I will pick
Where's the
Nathan Trott.
history right there?
Good, Jai.
Nathan Trott, Wells, Shawn Goater, myself.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You put yourself
You have to put yourself in there. You have to.
So you can just watch him play, you wouldn't want to play?
No, she said
No.
back to
But
top
you-
5.
Yeah,
man.
okay, we knew you put yourself in
myself.
there too. We get it. And one more. Think of a league team, someone that's not even pro, someone that you just rate. Like,
I don't know too many older players.
don't have you, but somebody that you played with that you do it like when he plays
You-
against you,
you
that
know
guy
who I
marks
like?
me out.
I like Willie Clemens a lot.
Ken Critchlow.
Oh, I forgot about Kane. Yeah, Kane would be in mine as well.
So then,
Kane would be
let's
in
go
mine as
to
well.
your top. Let's localize this here. What would be your top 5 local players that you played with, or that you've seen play
That's nice.
in Bermuda?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Think
I
of
don't
me.
really know names.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
That's the
me.
thing.
So based on who you know, let's see who you rate. Give me your top 5 players that you rate. Whether they could be your age, older, or whatever. Give me players, because I would know that you watched a player and you like him or you don't. You see what he. Yeah. And I'll go around to Dice. Dice, you give me that. Who's your top 5?
I'll give you one. Jai Pitt.
Okay.
Number 2. Need Jai to
Jai
talk to.
Pitt.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
And these guys argue every training session.
I love that.
Number 3.
I don't know.
Gee.
You doing our age? Why?
Yeah, I'm doing my age. Yeah. I'll probably do a Najee Aswood. I put Aswood in there. I'll put what's a player that I really like? I'll put Willie Clemens in there. I really like Willie
He ain't
Clemens.
got age.
You know, he is, brother.
I'm still gonna put him in there. I like Ken Critchlow too. I'm not gonna lie.
No, Kane's nice.
So
Yeah,
as we're getting ready to wrap this
Yeah.
up, go. Any advice, any question you want to give to these young gentlemen sitting there, go.
What I would say is very interesting listening to the guys. Couple of things I'd say right off the bat is the Jai. I like his personality. It may come across as a big ego, overconfident, arrogant, but I think I like that. He has to back that up with his performance. But how he backs it up is with the knowledge that allows him to go on and be consistent in his games. I also admire Amir's. I admire Amir because he's simply got the gumption to say his ideas, to sit there in the studio and actually say, "Well, I didn't used to like you." That tells me he has the personality of a leader. So I can see I haven't seen Amir play at all, but it tells me that he can be a leader in a game just from having the gumption to sit there in the studio and say, "Yeah, I didn't really like you when I was younger," and that takes some, as they say in England, it takes some balls. So these are the little things I'm picking up. So, what I would say to the guys is, research your coach. Because research your coach and understand your coach as if he was a player and understood what type of player he was, you then understand what type of coach he is. And because what you think of, if you think of the scenario as to who you are as a player and what ability you have, if you research your coach, you would understand the type of player your coach was. Therefore, he isn't going to veer too far from the type of player he is in terms of coaching as well. So Najai, for instance, his understanding of the Burnley manager. I played with him, Shawn Goater. He was a no-nonsense defender. He kicked everything in sight. And his teams essentially are that way. They're rugged, they're tough, they're difficult to beat. But in terms of tactical nous or, approaching the game like a club or Pep Guardiola or these type of managers, he wouldn't. He can't. He doesn't have that. And I know that because I played with him and I've seen him manage his team. So if you understand your coach, you would understand his philosophy, and therefore you could understand the role you could play within his team. So whatever your position is, actually he's looking for me as a fullback to just curl the ball on the line and defend. Or actually, this is a tactical coach that's looking for other things. He wants me to get forward. He wants me to be offensive. Show my qualities in the final third. So this here will help you guys perform better for your coaches. And I would say that's the same with your club. You understand your club. You understand the DNA of the style of the club. And again, Burnley, Tucker would know what Burnley's like. And they're a working class club, the community. And therefore, they're not really going to be attracted to a David Silva type of player. So he has to be a certain type of player in order to impress at Burnley.
No, you see why?
I know. I'm just pulling it out of you.
Hit the nail on the head.
It's
And
like,
the last thing I would say is all these guys said here, I think should be in and around the national team because if these guys being at a pro level, semi-pro level, and the knowledge and information they're getting, they should be the ones that are these guys are hungry that are set there, and these are the ones that want to push the Naki Wells and the others. The Naki Wells would love the challenge of young, hungry guys pushing because that will keep Naki Wells producing and performing. Rather than getting comfortable. So these guys are hungry, and I would imagine that in the next year or so, hopefully in the near future, these guys are at the table of the national squad.
Well, we definitely appreciate your international input there. And I mean, me and you have many conversations good about how we bridge the gap and how we grow football. And in the future, what we got, just for you guys and the public to know, in the future of Bermuda football, in 2026, the World Cup goes to 48 teams. What that means to a small country like Bermuda is that we go from having 3 spots in our region to having 8 spots. So we know in our region, we've got the USA, we've got Mexico, we've got Canada. Those are the big horses. Now that we get 8 spots, it's realistic. It's very realistic that these kids, these guys, these young men that are sitting on this coach can represent Bermuda at this first World Cup. So that's a very realistic ambition that this country has, and our BFA president has spoke of actually going to a World Cup in 2026. And why not in 2026? You guys will be how old? You're 18 and 19 now.
They'll be matured and seasoned. They'll have relationships with coaches.
Yeah. Come on, you guys. Your parents have spent a lot of money for Don't mess it up, bro.
Don't end this live like that, you guys. Just shoot on a number.
Spent a lot of money for education, man. You guys.
The 622, just.
These guys be in the ages of, in 2026, they'll be in the ages around 24. That's a mature player. Scientifically speaking, you get your frontal brain loaded. Meaning that you can now rationalize. You could be rational. So science has spoke of it. Science says that my brain develops, just like your muscles develop at certain age. So hopefully they can be rational, and know what it takes to push them to the next level.
I agree.
But why can't we be rational right now?
He thinks we're too young.
Right?
No.
Well, we'll have that conversation in the car.
Okay.
We have the conversation in the car and the drive back as to what rational behavior can look like at a 18-year-old versus rational behavior at a 24-year-old or a 30-year-old. How that shifts. And science explains it. And you like science, guys.
Not really science.
Not really science, Najjar? Okay.
What is it, maturity?
Well, it's just what you're exposed to.
That's it.
In Bermuda, you're not really exposed to being professional, but in England, you have to act as if you've as if you're a legend in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you, my question, I have a lot of questions, but we have time when it's done. So I just want to know, like, can we meet those professional standards, or you feel like there's not enough people on a system to make it happen?
I don't think Bermuda's have a chance. If you still
The money has to be invested into the program, you think?
not money, it's just a mindset. That's it.
Any mindset. So you mean like mindset? Mean like as a player, when I put my kid on and when I walk out on the field, we should be walking left, right, like that type of mindset.
Off the field, not on.
Oh, off the field. Okay.
Oh, Najai. I like this Najai. What is this at the dog park? Why does Najai come out at the dog park?
Dog park and be professors.
Yeah, why? You know, this Najai can come out at the dog park. Let's see. Yeah, one more session tomorrow before you go. I want to see this Najai come out at the dog park tomorrow.
No.
I think Najai is referring to, listen to what it said. I think it's culture. And even though we're talking about, being part of the national team, this is how, the top teams, when Liverpool had a great team there, it was the culture of the club. And it was the standard. When City had won, it was the culture of the club, the standard. So a player came in, they understood the standards. So a player, you just know that a player doesn't walk in late for a meeting. That's the culture. That's just the standard that is accepted. So I would imagine Najai doesn't walk in training late because he's being developed and understands that this is the standard. That this is the standard that he is at Burnley. And I think whether it's national team or whether it's a pro team, it's just developing their standard and their culture.
Cool. That's good advice.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You break that down easily for us to understand that more. And to me, that's part of like trying to know one sooner than later. Recognizing and understanding what's needed from you.
That's why the national team will never, if you come late, you still play. That's it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough
enough.
to me.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Guys, you guys have any parting words?
I just
you want to say to your
a message. Okay, someone's very angry at me for leaving them out my top 5. So I just want to say a big shout out to Remy and Johnny.
Oh no, you can't do that to Remy. You can't do that. You know how Remy takes these things today.
That's
man.
Come on, that's my cousin. He sends me a message. He says, "Are you serious, bro?" So yeah, I just want to give you a nice little shout out. So yeah, can't leave here, mom.
But just so you the public know, Remy is currently at West Ham. He's 16 years old.
Okay.
He progressed. He went away to a kid that went away to his parents, moved him to Bournemouth. He was at the Bournemouth Academy. Now he's progressed at 16 years old to West Ham. Again, another player that potentially could be in and around our national team.
Got you.
Bermudians have got these capabilities.
And
But
I'm
we gotta
hearing
pull it
so
together,
many
right?
people that are away, like
They don't know Remy.
new for me.
You got a Johnny
Johnny.
Johnny just was at Johnny at 16. So if you put this whole picture together, and we take a Shawn Goater. Shawn Goater made his professional debut. He went away to Manchester. You was what, 19 go?
18.
18. And you made your professional debut at what age?
I was in the reserve to the first, probably 20 for Rotherham. That would have been the equivalent of League 2 today.
We'll look at Johnny.
Johnny
Made his professional debut for Bournemouth at 16 years old.
4 years earlier.
So when you look at Bermudians are coming, they're coming, and right now we're coming individually. Is how we're gonna figure out how to come collectively.
Yes.
So
Ooh,
that's
interesting.
that's our next progression. Like we are coming. We have Nathan Trott that's at West Ham, 22-year-old goalkeeper. That what happened to Nathan? He was good enough that England said, "Come play for me."
Wow.
So he's a goalkeeper. He uses his feet. He's 22 years old. So again, we have these things that we need to promote, and we need to mature them.
Yeah.
And this is part of my objective, being in this environment with these kids. It's just to mature them and put them in the public eye to say this is what they're doing
I think,
and bring accountability to them.
but Mesa, you can't do it all in. Like, I think in this digital world, like you guys each have your responsibility to. Obviously, you have your responsibility to go pro, but if we want to tap back into this, like feeling like we should also have the opportunity to represent our country, I just think you guys should be using like hashtags of like, you know.
Well, that's where Yuggin come in. Jai
Apparently.
wants you manage him. He said these guys.
Sign me out.
I don't have Instagram.
But I just feel like you should also be connecting culturally back to Bermuda. Not to say like that's super important, but I mean if we want to have that sense of pride that I think we are missing as a culture, I think it would be cool if you start doing little things like that.
Yeah, that's important. It's all these pieces to the puzzle. Yeah, so there's all these pieces to the puzzle that we're looking to put this puzzle together. It's more than one.
We was going on the line. We was asking each one.
Yeah, so you guys, Jayce, how do you want to, what's going on there, Jayce?
I don't know.
Has it been hard for you?
What you want to put out there, man?
Has it been hard? Has the journey been hard so far?
I spoke about my
Yeah,
knee.
you did.
Everyone.
You did.
So here's something I want Jayce put out there for the public. Jayce, you're 18, right?
Yeah.
19. So you've been living in an apartment in London by yourself for the last year. You got a car. You was working in London, playing football in London. You did your rehab for your knee. You know, that's big. That's big for a 19-year-old to do that. Just tell me about that, what that takes, and what that support looks like for you to be able to do this type of thing.
First of all, it is what's the word? Makes you more mature, and you have to do it all yourself. Like I have to.
You cook.
He dates out with young men.
Yeah.
No, but you guys would be surprised how many boys don't do what you do. Like Bermudian as a female. Okay, I shouldn't touch it, but true say, we think a lot of boys are like
man boys,
right? And it ain't nothing wrong being a mama's boy, number one. But I mean, like someone doing everything for you, and then you expect that from the next female. But if you guys are doing this now, it makes you so much more attractive. I'm telling you.
And you're pretty good looking, Jayce. You're good looking as well, right?
Hey, you gotta stop.
You got all these other attributes
Cassie's
coming
watching.
too. Yes, you are.
Come on, guys. Just saying, like,
Cassie's watching, man.
oh man.
All right. Well, back to what I was saying.
It's like
I said that wrong. Like,
You said it absolutely right. To be honest.
All right. But back to what I was saying. So I have to do it all on my own. I have to cook, clean my apartment, my car, take care of it, fill it up, get to training, clean my kit, go to rehab, and all this stuff isn't close. Like going into training every day is an hour in, hour back. Then to my knee, I have to catch trains.
That's a stress.
Rush hours.
yeah.
A lot of people. So there's a lot.
And you're in school.
Yeah, and I'm in school, so
That's a stress.
my rehab, my football, school, grocery
Right.
shopping, a lot. There's
You
a
like
lot
of
stuff.
scheduling, a lot
I
of
gotta
planning.
budget my money I make, and it's a lot, but it's helped me mature, and I don't know.
It's what you want.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, like was said, it makes you young men a lot more attractive to young women.
Wait, that's not
Yeah, it makes you a lot more attractive that you're not man boys. In this country, we have a lot of man boys. And I would ask a difficult question, Mr. Dill. You seem to struggle when you have to come back home to the rules of your parents. Why?
What do you mean by that?
It's like, what's this direct question? You struggle with the rules of your parents. Why do you struggle? I mean, you've been independent. You've been away for 10 months out of the year. You travel up to Birmingham. You travel all over the UK as you see fit. You manage your money. Why is it a struggle when it comes to your back home?
I mean, because when you're in England, like all by yourself, I'm only in Bermuda for about 2 months of the year. Like when you're in England by yourself and you're doing everything by yourself, then you're coming home and your parents are like, yeah, do this, do that, do that. And you're like, hold up, like I'm been doing all of this by myself. And you don't need to you don't need to say this to me. But then it's like that your parents say, you gotta do it. they say. But it's hard. It's hard
You
to
don't
like.
see yourself as.
Yeah, you
but
know,
they still think
they
that's
still, they
Yeah.
still like when you come back. When I come back, they still want me to be this little boy. Oh, do that, could be him, be him there. But I'm like, when I'm in England, like I don't get in no trouble. I'm by myself. I'm free. I'm doing this by myself, doing that by yourself, and then come back to Bermuda and you're in your parents' house again, and then you're like on a leash again. I'm like,
You gotta let it go a little bit.
yeah, like can't cut me some slack. Like,
How's that with you in the gaffer?
It's not so much the gaffer. Like the gaffer, he lets
The
me have
gaffer
my
is
space.
just for the Robert. The gaffer is his father, Amir Thomas.
Okay.
But it's my mama. Like she's very like she loves me a lot, you know. So
What's that?
I can
Trying
Trying to
understand
put
that.
KFC in his face.
Yeah, I can
She knows
understand
he
that,
loves
you know?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's a little try. And let's finish it off. You guys all got these same tattoos on your same places on your arm. What's all this about? My son just came in with tattoos.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's why I got
what's
all
that? Is
that
that the new trend? These tattoos you got? You got one too?
These have meaning, man.
They have meaning, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a story.
Have meaning, yeah.
It's a story.
Are you a Leo?
Yeah.
Wrong story.
The Jai was
Aries.
stack of cards, so you got cards on there?
Family initials, stack cards, hearts, spades.
Yeah.
There's an eye with a person playing football inside of it. That's me. That's my vision. And yeah.
Just talk about yours there.
yeah, this is Champions League football. Like that's my goal. I'm playing in Champions League, and it says at the bottom, it says it's not a game, it's a life. Like football is like a life, and yeah, I got my grandpa's Thomas Russell's like birth year and his death year on this arm, and then number 7. That's my favorite number. Like, that's my football number.
Nice.
And Dice has a tattoo too, but he hid his.
Just as dice.
You put it on your
Dice
chest.
is smooth. He thought
Dice
we
is
put
smooth.
it from the hurt to the chest.
And Jayce, just talk me about yours.
Alright, so this one probably
That just looks hard.
no, this one I got this inspiration from a footballer who also went through the same injury as me, and the story he put behind it I really liked. He's a player plays for Bayern Munich. His name Tolisso. He plays the same position as me. He has it in the exact same spot, and it's basically just showing him growing up to where he is now. But he has one with a mane because he's a man. I'm not fully a man yet. But this one is what I have, what I don't have, which is patience. That's my missing puzzle piece to my life.
That's sweet.
And I work on it, but it won't come.
It's coming.
Yeah, and then focused.
It's gonna take 20 years.
This
Let's
is
see
Say, how
what's-
about you? You
Reminds
got
me.
any tattoos?
No, I'm not having any tattoos since yet. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's such a pleasure with
Yeah.
you guys today. I think I learned a lot, and I'm sure the viewers learned a lot too. Just finding out like what you guys are doing, what's going on. I mean, I could sit here for another hour and ask more questions, but I just want to say thank you on behalf of Digicel, Macy, of course. Digicel thanks you as well for being our sports ambassadors and bringing this type of opportunities forward with us. And I got a shout out to New Wave, where we're actually live at today. For all the hard work as well. So thank you so much, guys. I look forward to seeing you and what you got coming. Mr. Goater, thank you for coming through. I know I'm a big fan.
Pleasure.
So I really appreciate your time. I know it's late over there, so thank you so much. And
Pleasure. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
thank you so much, viewers, as well. Anything else, Mace?
Well, I mean, I'll leave it with this here. I mean, it's nice for me, you know, interacting with these boys from when they were born. And in our society, Bermuda, we make a lot of fuss if one of these boys do something wrong. That goes public quick. You do something wrong, shoot somebody, you'll be in the paper. Yeah. You'll be in the paper, you'll do this, do something bad, you'll be in the paper. And these are the things that we have to highlight to let our boys, not just our boys, our girls as well, our future, to know what they're doing is actually important. Mm-hmm. So we need to highlight what they're doing, and this is positivity. I mean, as much as we banter with each other, you know, these kids are doing things positive, and there are many other kids doing things
and
positive.
not easy.
And it's not easy, you know, being away from parents. And I mean, I know the Crash and the Giants are under at a premier club. He's at a premier club.
Yeah.
Football's a lot of pressure, and he handles those things. So
Yeah, and the Jayce was talking about earlier that really resonated. Like for you, you said
Yeah.
something that you said
Yeah.
you're nervous in anything you do, but that was interesting because it's so true. But people don't understand that. They think that to be nervous is uncomfortable
There's
and they
something wrong
pull
with
back
it.
versus pulling forward. So even though you said that casually because that's from your parents, you know, like whatever they're doing, it worked. But like a lot of people don't have that type of communication or talk to someone like, yo, I felt nervous. No one was there saying that's what it's supposed to be, you know. So what comes natural for some people, they don't. A lot of people don't have that.
Exactly.
Mr. Goater also wanted to say something too before we close out.
Sure. The great one there, Coach.
Oh, listen, I really enjoyed the show. I appreciate the platform. I really, even listening to the guys talk about their tattoos, it just shows these guys have personalities and are personable. And that's it just shows you the love for the game and how they connect with it. And I think it'd be interesting for coaches to know their stories about them, and that really shows how much football means to them, and that they'll do, you know, almost anything in terms of performing for coaches. But I enjoyed the platform. You guys keep working hard, and you fulfill your dreams.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Don't forget me
Thank
when you go big time.
Calandra, thank you for this platform. And we look forward to more platforms
Yeah,
like
we
this.
gotta figure this out.
Beyond the sports.
Podcast coming soon.
Podcast coming soon.
Okay.
Beyond the sports. Let's dig into it.
All right.